We pulling?
Hey, I'm Zax, and here's a follow-up guide to Mug Z on Heroic. The fight ended up being super difficult, and you have to follow a pretty precise strategy with assignments and pre-positioning and stuff, so I'll go through what my guild did to get our kill. This will kinda assume you already know the mechanics of the fight, so if you don't, you can still check out our original guide to learn all that. And there is an extended guide for this fight on our Patreon, so check out that link below. Alright, so a little setup before pulling. We put some world markers around the room like this. These are for the group soak rock wall things. We also had an MRT note like this that told everyone which group soak they were going to be in each time. Only the tanks and leftover healers were assigned to stay out, but depending on your comp, you can maybe have some DPS stay out too. The note also had an order for people to pop the crawler mines in because of the heroic debuff, 3 for the first set and 3 for the second set. And then there's assignments for the big rocket group soaks because of the heroic debuff, which we had a handful of immunities do the first and third, and then everyone else soaked the second one. Now we get into the fight. Everyone starts on the right side because you eventually want to start the intermission on the left side where there's more room to work with. You don't lust on pull because the last phase is a big DPS check. You pull the boss over just past the first 2 group soak markers, and then the soaks come out and they go to their marks and everyone gets into their assigned soaks. You kill both ads real quick, making sure to dodge their little frontals that are super hard to see and interrupting their pay respects cast. Then when the ads are dying, both groups try to get knocked toward the empty space next to the boss because the tank frontal is happening around the same time, and you don't want to destroy all the rock walls because you need a couple for the ice spears in a second. The tanks taunt swap when the frontal hits, the old tank runs around the outside of the room to drop all their gold stacks, and the new tank brings the boss toward the middle of the room, but everyone should still be on the starting half. The ice spears come out, and those 2 people get behind a rock wall while everyone else dodges the spears. Then the boss aims his lightning frontal at someone, who should keep the frontal aim toward the starting side of the room while everyone else avoids it and moves to the other side of the room, which makes the boss switch modes after the channel. Then you stack the boss on the close ad that spawns and cleave it down, and then once the mines start spawning, move the boss all the way to the other ad and start cleaving that one down. At the same time, stagger popping the mines in the assigned order, and make sure all the ranged are looking to soak the little circles that come from popping them. And be careful not to mistake the circle you have to soak for the circle that shows where a mine is going to spawn. We had that happen a few times. You should be able to squeeze in 3 mine pops before the big group soak coming up. The group soak should go over here near the entrance of the room, and the assigned people should soak it. For us, it was 6 people with immunities, but you can also do this with a big defensive personal like Ice Cold or Greater Invis. The tank soak line comes right after that, which needs to be aimed at the leftover mines, so throw a root on them to make that easier. A tank needs to soak this line with a huge defensive cooldown to help the targeted person live, then the little circles need to be soaked, and the targeted person gets away from the raid before the circle around them goes off. They can also use the circle to set off any mines that are left over. Then bring the boss over to the middle of the room and finish cleaving down the Rocketeer ad that should automatically move pretty close to him. Then the person that gets targeted with the big spray and pray frontal should aim it toward the entrance or the current half of the room, while everyone else avoids it and moves over to the other side of the room, which makes the boss switch modes again after the channel. Then you repeat all the right side mechanics in the exact same order, just shifted over to the new markers. So soaks, kill ads, knockback, frontal, taunt swap, middle of the room, ice spears, lightning frontal, move to the other side. Then you repeat all the left side mechanics in the exact same order, just starting on the ad toward the entrance this time. So cleave the ad, spawn mines, move to the next ad, stagger popping mines and soaking circles, but for this big group soak, you have the assigned people soak it down here past these markers, which we had everyone except the immunity people soak. Then the tank line happens, which pops the rest of the mines, and then the goal is to phase the boss at 40% right after these mines are done, or during the spray and pray frontal coming up, because the boss is getting close to full energy and you don't want to have to cross back over to the right side. So you might have to stop damage for a sec if you're too fast and still have a bunch of mines up, or bloodlust early if you're too slow. Right before you phase, you want to have everyone baiting the intermission charge toward the current side of the room because he chooses a random player to charge toward, and if he ends up on the rock wall side of the room, it can get really tough to avoid the spinning frontals and everything. And you want to try to do that for every charge afterward too, just trying to keep him on the open side of the room. But yeah, intermission is bait the charge, dodge the charge, avoid the spinning frontals, which always start perpendicular to his charge, dodge a ton of lightning circles, bait the next charge, and repeat. He does this 3 times before starting phase 2, and you can either bloodlust during this intermission at around 4 minutes in, or you can delay it a little bit toward the end of the intermission when everybody doesn't have to move as much. Both options are fine. In phase 2, start the boss toward the entrance because a shocker ad spawns there and you can cleave it down real quick. Then the boss spawns mines and you have the original 3 mine poppers do the staggering thing, while the tank moves the boss over toward the world markers where the next group soak rock wall things are gonna go. A couple ice spears come out, and these have to be aimed to go through the mines, so rooting the mines helps a lot here. Hitting a mine with a spear doesn't actually pop it, but freezes it in place for a long time, which is actually kind of nice because you can let them sit there for a while until you get past the next couple mechanics. The rock wall soaks go to the world markers and everyone goes to their assigned marks, except we had the assigned immunity players stay out of the rock walls because a big rocket soak happens while everyone is in the walls. And the rocket can only target people without the heroic debuff from soaking one, so it's guaranteed to go on one of the immunity players. They take it over to the wall and soak it while everyone else is killing the rocket and getting knocked out of there. The boss does a frontal around this time too, so the tanks have to taunt swap. Then there's a lightning frontal, which needs to be aimed away from the raid. This thing does a ton of damage because the boss is super buffed at this point, so whoever gets chosen for this is probably dead unless they have a huge personal. Then there's one last tank soak line, which probably kills the targeted person. Then there's a final spray and pray frontal, which needs to be aimed away from the raid, but also probably kills the targeted person. And finally, the boss spawns mines again, but there's like 20 of them this time, so everyone should stay close to the boss to bait them to all spawn close together, and then everyone runs away from them with the boss, and you throw a bunch of roots on them to keep them away, and don't pop any of them. Then there's one last set of ice spears, which you can hide behind a mine for, and then you either kill the boss, or he hits full energy and hard enrages a few seconds later, and you're dead. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, hit us up in our Discord link below, and check out our Patreon for an extended guide on this boss that goes into even more detail. See you next time.